A lot of founders think their homepage problem is bad design. It usually is not. A lot of homepages look polished, they look modern, they look premium, they look like serious companies built them, and they still do not convert. Why? Because looking good is not the same as being easy to process. And if your homepage makes visitors work too hard in the first few seconds, it starts leaking conversions before the rest of the page even gets a chance. That is what I want to show you in this video. I ran 3 polished SaaS websites through my tool, firstfix, Adio, WorkOS, and Astronomer. All 3 look good. None of them look broken, but all 3 are running into the same kind of problem. They are asking visitors to process too much too fast, and that kills momentum. Let's start with Adio, because this one is the cleanest example of the trap. When you land on the page, it looks sharp, it looks minimal, confident, modern. The headline says Customer Relationship Magic. The subhead says Adio is the AI CRM for GTM. Then you get Start for Free and Talk to Sales. And underneath that, you already have product navigation and interface content showing up. Nothing here looks messy, and that is what makes it dangerous because founders look at a page like this and they think, we're good. But when I ran it through firstfix, the tool flagged high density of content and actions above the fold. And I think that is basically right. Not because the page is a total mess, but because it is doing what a lot of polished SaaS websites do. It stacks up just enough elements to make the visitor work harder than they should. There's a banner. There is the nav. There is a headline, a subheadline, 2 CTAs, extra tabs, a product UI block starting right away. So instead of one clean thought landing fast, the visitor has to sort the page. And that is the key idea here. If your homepage makes visitors sort, it is slowing conversions. A homepage does not fail only when it looks ugly. A homepage can fail because it looks good while still making people think too hard. That is Adio. Now, let's look at WorkOS. Different style, same problem. The page looks clean. The headline is stronger here. Your app, enterprise ready. That is actually clearer. The visual is clean, the logo wall adds credibility, but then you still get the same pattern. You have a promo strip at the top. You have the nav. You have the headline. You have the subhead. Get started, talk to an expert, then a big UI panel, then a giant wall of logos. Again, this is not ugly, it's not amateur, it's just a lot to take in fast. And when I ran it through firstfix, the diagnosis was basically the same thing. High density of information and actions. That is important because it shows this is not just one random site with this problem. This is a pattern. And here is the bigger lesson. Even strong pages lose conversions when they stack too many signals in the opening moment. Now look at Astronomer. This one is the more obvious version. There is an alert bar, a full nav, multiple actions, a bold headline, a subhead, a big visual, a logo row, and the next section is already creeping into view. This is where the problem becomes easier to see. The page is trying to do too much right away. And again, firstfix called it out as cognitive overload, which makes sense because now the visitor is not just deciding whether the product matters. They are also managing page noise. And that is the real issue across all 3 sites. Adio is the polished version, WorkOS is the enterprise-ready version, and Astronomer is the crowded version. But the same thing is happening underneath. The homepage is spending the first screen on too many jobs at once. That is the thing I want founders to hear here. Your page does not need to prove everything at once. It needs to make one clear idea click. That is the job. Not 10 ideas, 1. So, what do you actually do about this? You simplify the opening moment. You ask, what is the one thing this visitor needs to understand first? What is the one action I want them to notice first? What can wait until lower on the page? Because a lot of founders are trying to front load everything. The pitch, the proof, the product, the routes, the personas, the brand, the visuals. Got it all in there, but it's all before the visitor even has a clean mental handle on the offer. That's backwards. Clarity first, then proof, then detail, then options. That is the order. If you reverse that, you get polished confusion. And polished confusion still kills conversions. And that is why I built First Fix. Most sites do not need a full redesign. What they need is the first fix, the single highest impact change that removes the biggest conversion leak. And sometimes that is trust. Sometimes it's clarity, sometimes it's hierarchy, sometimes, like these 3 sites, it is the simple fact that the homepage is asking visitors to process too much too fast. So, if your homepage looks good but is still not converting, this might be the reason. Again, not because the design is bad, because the first screen is overloaded. If you want to see what your homepage is getting wrong, first go to firstfix.dev and paste your URL. It will show you the single highest impact fix to test first. Because most homepages do not fail because they look bad. They fail because they make people think too hard before the value clicks. And the best homepages do the opposite. They make the next step feel obvious fast.